Hello everybody. I hope that everyone is staying warm here in Farmington, New Mexico. It's pretty chilly. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Julie Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome. So hope everyone is, for those of us in cold weather, I hope everyone's staying warm and enjoying the month of January. So let's go over our housekeeping first while we're getting ready for people to get on. If you are new to my channel and you haven't watched me yet, I am actually going live in both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So please bear with me as I may see your comments, I may see your questions. Sometimes your name shows up, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll try to answer any questions that I see popping up. For those of you that will be placing orders with me in January, please use that hostess code if it is under $150. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. There should be a link in both Facebook and YouTube. This is my first time trying to add a link, so we'll see if that worked. Anyway, guys, welcome. So there's all the ways you can get in touch with me. I have a Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram, obviously YouTube, and I also have a blog/website that I have a lot of really good information on. So make sure you go and check that out as well. So anyway, I want to welcome you guys tonight. For those of you that know about Stampin' Up!, you know it is celebration time. And what that means is that from January through February, anytime you make a purchase of $50 or more, actually it's every increment of $50 that you do, you get a free item. Hey, Susie! So glad you're here. So I am kind of focusing on celebration right now, and so I'm going to be showing you celebration items and showing you different cards that you can make with it. I'm going to be making one card tonight, but I'm also going to be bringing in a lot of the really cool new stuff as well. So you're going to get to see bits and pieces of some of the new things in the mini catalog, because our mini catalog just came out. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, please reach out to me. You can either respond, put something in the comments now, or reach out to me at any of those places I just showed you. So let's get started because we have a lot to cover tonight. So tonight I am working with the Flight Airy paper. And this is what our celebration catalog looks like, not to be confused with our new mini catalog. So the stuff in the mini catalog is the new items, products that can be purchased through Stampin' Up! And the celebration catalog is all of the free things that you can qualify for. So let's kind of take a look. I'm going to go right to the Flight Airy page. There's two things on this page. Hey, Vanessa. Oh my gosh, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever and I miss you, lady. Anyway, so if you were to spend $50 in Stampin' Up! Products, you would end up getting this paper for free. And then you can also see there's stamps. There's all sorts of things that are available. There's also a very good joining offer right now. So right now you can join Stampin' Up! It's $99. And you can get $125 worth of products for that $99. Plus right now during celebration, see this cool glass mat? And this little thing here? It's like a silicone mat. All of this is something that you can add on to your options for signing up. This is not something that you normally get through Stampin' Up! But right now you can either do option one, which is the silicone mat, the glass mat, silicone mat, and then there's a cleaning cloth that goes with it. Or option two is you can add an additional $30 worth of products. So either way, celebration is a great time to join my team. So if you're looking to join my team, just reach out to me and let me know. So let's go over this paper because I want to show you this cool paper, and then I'm going to make one card, show you a bunch of other cards that I've made with this. So Vanessa, you've been good over the last 6 months. A lot of firsts. Okay. So basically, if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up!, most of their designer series paper is double-sided. So this is the front, and that is the back. Some people love that. Some people hate that because then they have to decide which side to use. For me, I just get two, and then I don't have to worry about it. And then look how pretty that side is. That's the same one. Oh, I've got everything upside down. Let me turn that around. Okay, so there's some more birds. And then I love this. I call this design that's on the back of this one. I'm not sure what the correct design is, but it could be called an acid wash, a water wash, but it's kind of like a watercolor technique. And then there's this beautiful bird page. And the opposite side of that, it looks like this. Remember, this is paper. The only way you can get this paper is to place a $50 order between January and February. You cannot purchase it outright. It is a free Sale-a-bration item. On the back of that is another water wash. And then we've got these nice big birds. And then on the back of this one is some more floral pattern. So really pretty paper. And so let's look at what we're going to design tonight with this. So what I did, and I meant to grab, my bad. Sorry, I'm trying to get some of this paper that I already did this with, and I can't find it right now. Hold on one quick sec. Isn't that funny? Just when you think you have everything right where you need it, then as soon as you start doing a video, everything disappears. Okay, this is, let me find the right paper. So basically what I did is I took this paper and I cut it all down to 4 by 5 1/4. So let me get these cut. And then this is kind of like, if you guys have ever done like the, what do they call that? The stack of, I'm not good with remembering what they call things. Anyway, so you'll see what I'm talking about in a second, because what it allows you to do is cut 3 sheets of paper one time and then put them together in different ways to create cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. Oh yeah, Susie, that's, yeah, good point. The water wash does look like a stormy sky. Yeah, absolutely. So these are all cut to 4 by, maybe not, that was 5 1/4. Oh, that was, maybe this one's shorter. Oh, it is, shoot. All right, let me get, I got to get one more of this pattern, sorry. Bear with me. There we go. Let me make sure that's 4 and then 5 1/4. So the trick to this is knowing which patterns that you want. And so what you want to do is when you're cutting this, you want to put all the patterns that you want facing up. So I want to use this pattern, and then I want to use that stormy sky or water wash pattern. And then I want to use the water wash pattern here too. And this is really important to remember when you're doing this type of cutting, because we're going to be mixing and matching these together. You want to make sure that when you're cutting it, that everything that you want face up on your card is face up here. So I'm going to take these 3 together and I'm going to be cutting these all at once. And so basically the way I did this was I just kind of, I think I stuck this corner at 2 over here, this top corner at 2, and then it might not have been quite 2. Actually, I think it was, I'm going the wrong direction. I think it was 2 1/4. So basically I'm just going to run this through and cut that corner off. Okay, so now I have 3 of that corner. Then I'm going to turn this around, or even just do it this way, right? And I'm going to try to stick it at that 2 mark over here, if you guys can see that. And then we're just going to, actually I'm going to get that straightened back out real quick. Get on that 2 mark right there. And this doesn't, I mean, you don't have to be exact on that. You can just kind of, like, I can actually just kind of look at this and say, yeah, that's where I want it. The only time that you want to be like know your measurements is if you're going to do a bunch of these. All right, so now I have all these odd pieces. So now what I want to do is So when you're doing this stack, you're basically switching off your patterns. And so what you want to do is, I want this to be the center of my card, and then this would be the center of another card, and this would be a center of another card. So if this is how I lay it, this is my top, but for the top of this one, I want to use this blue, the Balmy Blue Water Wash, and then possibly, like, do you guys see how this is kind of going together? And then like this one would fit here. So basically I'm going to have enough to do 3 cards. Let me get all of this where you guys can see it. And then this is the bottom. And so I want to use this pattern here, and this pattern here, and this pattern here. So can you see how now I have all of these cards, or these bases that can go on cards and create 3 cards, boom, boom, boom. So that's kind of the advantage of doing this cut with 3 pieces of designer series paper. But I'm going to work with this one right up here. I'm going to keep all these together so I know which one goes with what, because you guys, if you've ever done any of this, you'll know that as you're cutting it, it's kind of important to keep the right pieces together. So now what I want to do is I want to take this, and I want to I'm going to use some Scotch tape, which I had here one hot second ago. And I'm just going to kind of put these in place, and I'm just going to tape them right in the middle, and that's just to hold it in place for me. That just makes it easier for me while I'm designing and putting the card together. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a piece of Garden Green card base, and I know you don't like this bone folder, Susie, but it's, you know, the closest one to me right now. So then when you flip it over, see how all those pieces are together? So now what I'm going to do is, you can either do liquid glue or you can use your Stampin' Seal. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm actually going to, usually I just like go in the corners, but this time I'm going to make sure that I'm going over those sections that have been cut, because I want them to stay together. So basically I am just going to run that across that section. And then I'm just going to simply take this, and we're going to lay this down. And I can see I didn't get that quite lined up. There's a little bit of an edge right there that I want to trim. And that probably happened because I tried to straighten that paper, and I probably shouldn't have, but it is what it is. All right, so now I've got that edge straight. So basically now I'm just going to take this, and I am going to lay this onto my card front. And you don't have to worry about taking that Scotch tape off. This is really just to make sure it stayed where I wanted it to stay, so that I could get it on my card base. Now, hold on one second. I need to grab some ribbon. Thought I had done that earlier, but apparently I didn't. Okay, so now we're going to do, we are going to do some die cutting. And the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to come in with this paper. Now, guys, I don't know about you guys. I hope you've looked at the mini catalog. There are so many cool dies in this catalog. And you guys know I love dies, so I am going absolutely crazy. So for this one, I'm going to use this Thoughtful Expressions. It goes with a completely different stamp set. But it's a good bundle to purchase if you want to get the paper for free. But look at these beautiful dies. It has these stitch dies and these stitch dies, plus everything that goes along with the stamp. So yeah, I'm going crazy with the dies right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this third die here, I believe is the one that I want, and I'm just going to cut this bird out. So this is my first time switching to my die cutting station. It's not lit up very well, so I hope you guys can see it. So woo, look at that magic. I'm so excited. Ah, Cindy is here too. Yay, yay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this kind of where I want it. And then I'm going to secure it down with some washi tape or post-it notes, whatever you have available for yourself. And then remember, on our die cutting machines, it's pretty easy because it has these, this base tells you. So I'm doing thin die, so it says I need number 1, then I need number 2, and then I need 2 number 3s, which are the clear mats. Always remember, when you're cutting, you need to have a clear mat on the bottom and on the top when you're cutting with die. So we're just going to run that through the die cut machine. And hopefully you guys are, I know it's kind of dark over here. I'm still working on my lighting on this side of my stamp station. So now we're going to just pull that off. And then the next one we want to do is the next die up. And we're just going to bring in some garden green. Let me move that paper. All right, so, and you'll notice little labels on mine. I label all of my dies, starting with the smallest one is a 1, and then I go all the way up to however much I have to go up depending on the dies. That way, when I'm writing my own instructions or I'm trying to tell you guys which die to use, if you hear me say die number 4, just start from the smallest die and count up, and you'll know that's the right die. So we're just going to cut that one out. Let's see if I can get that out without tearing. All right. Boy, this stuff is really sticking today. All right, so let's switch back over to my desk. Here we go. So we have those. So what I'm talking about is when I number my dies, I start with the smallest die. So here's the dies, right? The smallest is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So just always know, if you're ever watching my stuff, you know that. Okay, you're losing what I'm saying because, okay, I will work on that as well. So I'll have to talk louder when I'm at the die cut machine. Oh, Happy New Year to you, Patty. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so simply with these two, I'm just going to take this one, put some liquid glue on the back of this, and the nice thing about this designer series paper, guys, is, boy, you talk about quick cards. Now I'm making this one a little bit more complicated because we got a new hybrid folder in the new mini catalog, and when I did my Christmas card class, I noticed a lot of people had difficulty lining up the hybrid, so I wanted to show you how to do that. All right, so then to kind of finish off the front of this, we're going to bring in some of this sheer ribbon. This is the one that comes in, it's a combo. I think it has this and Azure Afternoon, and I forget the third color that's in this set. So basically, I'm just going to cut these corners. The only bad thing about when you put chains on the end of your scissors is that if you put it too close to the edge, it goes right off your table. All right, so let me just kind of measure this, because I need that one, and then I need another one that is about the same distance. And we're going to cut that. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is I kind of want this to sit like so. And so I'm just going to kind of do a dry run here with my ribbon. All right, because I want it to show from that top edge. Oh, I think I cut this too short. Yeah, you would want to cut this a little bit longer. I'm not going to finish the front of this because I cut that too short. I'll show you the first one, and then I'll show you the finished card that I have, just so you can see. But basically, I just laid that down with mini glue dots, and then we're going to set that on top of it like that. All right. So I wanted to get to the next, the hybrid folder. Bubble bath. Thank you, Susie. The third ribbon. So it's this lemon lolly and azure afternoon and bubble baths. And I'm really liking this ribbon. I've used it a ton. Okay. So now wait till you see this. It's like dun dun dun. Okay. So we have what is called the Thoughtful Moments Hybrid folder. And what that means is it is an embossing folder and a die cut all in one. Now they don't come together. I mean, they come together, but you have the die set and then you have the embossing. And so this is one whole piece right here. And then it has all these little pieces here, which super cute, but we're not going to use these. We're just going to use this big piece. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use that new brayer that's in the catalog. And so this is the new brayer. It's the Stampin' brayer. It's on page 18, and it's on the same page as this, actually. But let me show you the trick to this. So when you are working with, I'm going to move this silicone mat just real quick, just so I can get this centered. When you're working with these, and I know it's hard to see on this, but there's this side that is raised, and this side that is like embedded down. Oh my gosh, Susie, you use bubble bath ribbon? Yeah, that is hard to believe. So the trick to this is you've got to find how to set your die in here so that it kind of clicks in place. Now, it would click in place on this side, but the problem of putting it on this side is the paper goes underneath this. So the paper has to be right here. All right, so when I put this die down, it actually has to be over here, and I've got to move this around until it kind of clicks in place. And then once it clicks in place, it won't move. That's how you know you've got it in the right spot. It's not going to move. Okay, but we are going to ink this up before we cut anything out. So what I need is I needed to bring in some basic white, and I'm actually going to cut this down to a 6x6 because since I'm going to go ahead and cut out the words, I thought I would just cut a bunch of them out because that's how I roll. But you could, so just to show you, you could figure out how big you needed like the thank you, and you could just do the thank you. You don't have to do it all together. But because I kind of want to show you how the brayer works tonight, we're doing it all together. All right. Let me move this. All right. So I've got to move this off of here. So what I'm going to do is this paper is going to end up being over here, but for now I'm going to move it out of my way. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' pad, my garden green, and then this is the new silicone brayer. And when you put this together, when you ink this up, you want to just go one direction. You don't want to be rolling back and forth. So I'm going to kind of start over here, and I'm just going to ink it up, and then I'm going to move across the pad as I go. Now this is still going to leave some lines. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still working out all of those kinks with this. But I love it, absolutely love it, for inking up this folder. So then I'm just going to simply take that brayer and I'm just going to run it across, and this time you can go back and forth. And you want to make sure that you're getting all of the wording covered really well. So I want to really be able to see those words. Like I can't really see this G up there. Oh, and I just touched my paper, of course. Okay, I'm going to show you what to do with this in a second. So I'll just turn that the opposite direction. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this paper here. I'm going to get my die, and I'm going to carefully, so it's down, it's not moving. And then I obviously I'm not going to take this to I'm not going to fold it left to right. because that would make the die fall. So now I'm going to lay the paper there. Make sure the paper's where it needs to be. And I probably shouldn't have moved it, but I did. And then I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to switch back over and I'll try to talk louder. But because this is a 3D embossing folder, you're going to use the same plates that you do for a 3D folder, which is the base plate number 1 and the gray plate number 4. You want to make sure that where it folds is what's going in first. And then you're just going to roll this through. All right, then when you get it back over here, we're going to pop this up. Take this out. I'm going to show you how to clean all of this stuff. And then we're going to pull this up. And guys, wait till you see this. This is the coolest hybrid. It's just a cool die. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera. Oh, sorry. I didn't go back to my workspace. Basically, I just pulled it up, but look at how cool this is. Can you guys see that it pops? Can you see it's like dimensional? So I don't know if you can see it, but all of the lettering is actually raised up. And so it cut out all of these sayings. And I seriously think what I'm going to do is one night when I'm sitting here and I don't have a whole lot to do, funny for me, right? I'm going to sit and I'm going to bray and I'm going to put all the different colors that I might want my sentiments out of. And then I'm just going to like sit and cut a bunch of these out. So basically to clean this, you're just going to bring in like a baby wipe and you're just going to wipe all of the ink off. Now once I do this, I do leave this kind of sitting open and allow it to dry. And I do kind of one more check on it to make sure that it's dried properly. And then for this, it does sometimes get some ink on the metal side. And so again, I just wipe that as well. All right. So now so this still had ink on it, right? And I was like, I don't want to waste ink because I don't like to waste ink. So I'm going to bring in a piece of paper and I'm going to bring in just a 4 by 5 1/4 sheet. And I'm just going to roll this like back and forth and give myself a really fun, oops, I should have done it that way. You want to make sure these little ends are sticking up. I'm going to kind of create my own fun, like watercolor. That way I'm not wasting my ink. So isn't that cool? It just kind of put like a water wash watercolor design on there. And see how it leaves lines? I'm still working on getting all of those lines completely gone. And it's probably because I'm rolling back and forth. I probably should just be going one direction. But I just wanted to show you, now I can use that on a card later. And then we're just going to take this and the same thing. We're just going to wipe this. And I'm just going to kind of turn it and wipe it and make sure that I've got all of the ink. It cleans so easy because it's silicone. So super cool. All right. And then just kind of set that to the side to dry just a hot second. Oh, thanks for joining, Vanessa. I'm glad you got to come in for a little bit tonight. All right. So now I'm going to bring in that silicone mat here and all of those sentiments that I just cut out with that die. So I have one that says hello, one that says thinking of you, one that says celebrate, one that says you make me happy, one that says get well. Can you guys see these? See how it put that ink on those? Aren't those cool? I'm in love with these. This one is just because, oh, happy day, thank you, love you. All with garden green. And so you could do this with any color that you want to. Oh, thanks, Patty. I'm glad you liked it. You know, I have some other brayers too, but I believe the old brayers are either, they're not, I don't think they're silicone. I think they're like rubber, and I'm not sure. I should probably get my old ones out and see if they work with this. I'm sure they might, but I know that the rubber doesn't clean as nice as that silicone one does. So yes, but yeah, I know I haven't used my brayer in a long time either. Okay, so now what I want, since I cut that ribbon wrong, I'm just going to kind of show you how I finished the card. So there's the finished card. I just laid that ribbon down. I popped this up, and then I put that Celebrate down here on the bottom. Yeah, Patty, I think the old ones are rubber. This one is silicone. And then on the inside, I brought in the Hooray for Surprises. It's one of the ones in the mini catalog. And I don't even know if I have it sitting here. Yeah. So I basically brought in this stamp set, and it also has dies that go with it. Some really cool dies as well. But this is one of the sets, and it's got a lot of really fun, cool birthday sentiments in it. And you guys know I love sentiments, so this was a no-brainer for me to get because of the sentiments. So that's what I did for the inside of that one. And so do you see how fun it is to just, you know, cut 3 pieces of paper at a diagonal and make all these things? Okay, so Susie, you used it, and you used it with red, and there was yeah, see, I don't have any residue with mine, so I'm not sure. Maybe the red dye is just a little bit more, a little darker. But do you see how fun this card is? And again, remember, this paper, you can only get it if you place a $50 order between January and February. So let me show you all the other cards that I have made with this paper. And I'm going to try to remember like all the different stamp sets that I use to combine with this paper. But obviously that's the first card. There's this one that's using the same die set, but this time I actually used some of the flower and leaf dies from that same set. And so here's this one. All right. And then this one, I used the new embossing. Look at that floral embossing folder. Isn't that beautiful? So this is a floral embossing folder. And then I just hand cut out so that there's one sheet of paper that has these big birds. And so I just fussy cut around them. I brought in some vellum. And I think this is these leaves came from the Stippled Rose die set. And then these came from, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a mat, and that came from the postage dies. I'm telling you guys, I am going crazy with all these new die sets. I am absolutely in love. So super excited. And then there's this set, which is the Everyday Detail dies, and another super fun set. And so what this one did, I don't know if you guys can see it in the picture, but it poked all those little holes and that opening. So there, and then of course I used that ribbon again. So like on this one, I used an embossing folder, 2 different die sets. Yeah, I'm going like a little nuts with the die sets and the new embossing folders. Okay, this is one that I did basically with the Designer Series paper. Now I did bring in, I think this is the Everyday Details because it had that nest in it. And I wanted to put the nest in the card. Again, I brought in some ribbon. I cut out one of those birds. I used some stitch. Oh, I think this one is actually, yeah, it's this one here from the Everyday Detail dies. I know, guys, I'm going like, I'm sure you guys probably think I'm ADHD today with those dies. But how fun is that little nest from the Everyday Detail stamp set? So you could get that bundle and then get the paper and then make a bunch of cards like this. And then there's that where it did all the holes. Can you tell I'm a little excited? So this one's pretty simple. Again, there's that beautiful embossing folder. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. And then this one is these dies here, which is the Thoughtful Expression dies. And so I kept this one pretty simple. I did cut this out of the paper. So, let me see if I can show you, sorry. So this sheet right here, I just cut it out of this sheet. I know, can you believe I'm doing this much fussy cutting? Me of all people. Yeah, Susie, you've bought all those same dies. Yeah, I know, right? And so this one is just enjoy your day, happy birthday. And I'm bringing in different sentiment stamps because, you know, the whole thing is find a set that you want, find a new bundle that you want, and then get this paper for free. Okay, this one is super simple, but I did use that. This was in Lost Lagoon. I wanted to do a get well. This one's pretty simple. It's just designer series paper, Lost Lagoon ribbon, and then you're in my thoughts today. So designer series paper makes it really simple to make. And then my last card, I wanted to kind of go the opposite color. This is designer series paper that is in that. It's the back of one of those with all the birds on it. And so again, I use that same die set. This one, between this one and the postage one, I love them all. Anyway, so I just cut out a label, some ribbon, designer series paper, and then there's the inside. So there's everything that is possible with the Flight Airy, and it is on page. Sorry. It is on page 6 of the Sale-a-bration. Remember, you cannot buy these outright. You have to place at a minimum of a $50 order. The nest came from, I believe it's the, let me find it. It's the Everyday Details. And then that one coordinates with these dies. So that's a bundle. And it has that little nest in it. So it's called Everyday Details. That's the stamp set. This is the dies. It's from the mini catalog. It's new in the mini catalog. So again, you know, I was just trying to like make a bunch of cards for you guys, show you. You could do the thoughtful, you could do this thoughtful expressions bundle, which comes with a hummingbird. You could do the Everyday Details bundle. You could even do the perennial postage set, which comes, that's the postage one. And this one is a bunch of sentiments, which you guys all know I love. And so, you know, that way you get sentiments, plus you get a really cool new die set. So any of these bundles would work really well to get this paper for free. And then as you can see, I used all of these different dies and some of the sentiments and some of the images from these other stamp sets to create some really fun cards. I know, are you excited? Sale-a-bration is here. It's like the best time of the year, right? Yeah, so you know, think about that. Again, guys, if you don't have a Sale-a-bration catalog, you can reach out to me. I can get one sent to you, but please make sure if you have a demonstrator to ask your demonstrator for them. But if you don't have a demonstrator, I can send you a Sale-a-bration and a new mini catalog. So all of those combinations that I showed you, and even this thoughtful hybrids folder is all in the new mini catalog. So there's that one. These are the two that I used tonight. And then there's the brayer. But they're all in this new mini catalog. And so I just took a bunch of the bundles from here and combined it to make these cards, just to show you, hey, buy this bundle, get this paper, make these cards. Because even though I use different dies, you could get this set and you could use all of those dies to pretty much make the same card. Oh, you got the dies, but you didn't get the stamp set. Oh, shoot, Susie. Yeah, you definitely want that bundle. Yeah, so remember, this is that, you know, the hybrid embossing folder. And that's in, you know, that's in the mini catalog too, and that's what cuts all those out. Again, like I said, if you only wanted to do the hello, you could cut a piece of paper and just do the hello on that one. So you don't have to cut a 6x6. I just found it easier to do it that way. But this one does come with other dies that are, I haven't played with those yet. So can you see all the little dies that are in this one? So there's all these little leaves, little flowers, little rainbows that come with this set right here, which is the Thoughtful Moments hybrid folder. So yeah, can you tell I'm just a little bit excited? I mean, right? I started going through this catalog, and I'll be honest with you, I was liking the stamp sets, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was kind of looking at the dies, and I was like, oh, those are cute, those are cute. Well, then when I got them and I started playing with them, I am going die crazy right now because there are so many cool dies that coordinate with these beautiful new stamp sets. So super excited. So it's a good time for celebration because we have the mini catalog. You can get things for free, and hopefully you guys saw I did a quick sneak peek. I didn't show you how to make any cards, but I did. If you haven't seen my other video, it's under my live videos in my YouTube, and it should be on my Facebook page. But I did show you the trusty, or shoot, now I can't speak tonight, guys. I'm just losing it. It's this trusty, let me find it. So the Trusty Toolbox Designer Series paper, I showed you a bunch of cards that I made with that. And then I think I did the cradle one as well. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of what the potentials are. But I mean, this one for sure, there is a Trusty Tools bundle in the new mini catalog that you definitely would want to get. And then it would be enough to purchase or get the paper for free here. So make sure you're checking out the catalogs. Make sure you're looking, kind of like Susie got the dies, but she didn't realize the stamp set was there too. So, you know, everybody take a real deep breath because mini catalogs are exciting when we get all this new stuff. Take a quick look at them. Even like this embossing folder, it's kind of up in a corner, kind of off on its own. But isn't that embossing folder absolutely beautiful? I love it. All right, guys, that's all I have for tonight. I hope I gave you some inspiration and I showed you everything that could be possible with this beautiful Flight Airy Designer Series paper. I'll see some of you at my class tomorrow, which you're going to get to see a lot of this celebration stuff in person. So I'm excited to see all of you at that. And we'll be playing with a lot of these celebration stamp sets and paper tomorrow. So I'll be excited to see everybody, and everybody else, I'll see you next week. I am going to be mainly doing, I know there's so many fun things in the mini catalog, but I am going to be kind of focusing on the celebration. And the reason I'm doing that for you guys is we only have January and February to get the free celebration items. So I want to make sure you guys get a good look at the cards, what the potential is of these sets, so that you can make the best decision on your free item when you're placing orders in January and February. So be watching for my videos each week, and I'm going to be doing a new celebration item. But of course, like tonight, you're going to get to see some snippets of a lot of the mini catalog items. I am just not like making a lot of the sweets and stuff. I'm not going to play with those until like the middle of February, because I just feel like I need to show you guys the celebration stuff first. So everybody have a good night. If you have any comments, any questions, make sure you type them in. Even after I've shut this down, I will see them. So yeah, guys, appreciate everybody being here. I always love it when people show up, so I get to talk to people. And I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you next week. Oh, I totally forgot. If you don't have a demonstrator, if you place an order with me this month, you're going to get some of these PDFs that I'm showing throughout this month. You're going to get some free PDFs to make some of the cards. So like someone might get the PDFs for this. Someone might get the Trusty Toolbox. Someone might get the Cradle. Or I just might give them all to you. Who knows? Maybe I'll feel really generous by the end of February and give you guys all the PDFs. So yeah, if you place an order, especially if you place a $50 order in January, a $50 order in February, you will definitely get free PDFs of everything, all these cards, not just the one I showed you how to make tonight, but all of them. So everybody have a great night. See you next week. And yeah,